Call of Duty Vanguard is just Modern Warfare 2019 2.5. I said it. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BlancOnline here today to chat to you more about some Call of Duty Vanguard. The open alpha Champion Hill is coming out very soon. I did a short showcasing how to download it and get it ready for when it launches on August the 27th. So there'll be a link somewhere here or at the end card to watch that video if you want to do so. But we need to talk about Vanguard. A lot of details have come out in regards to the multiplayer in terms of different mechanics and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to tread over a lot of that stuff in detail. I'll mainly be talking about the biggest talking points that have come out as a result of those things being leaked and whatnot, and basically the overriding sort of opinion on all of this sort of stuff. And based on the leaks, it's that this game is basically a World War II skinned Modern Warfare 2019. Now let's talk about that. It's very similar to Modern Warfare 2019, isn't it? It very much looks like it's shaping up to be an MW 2019 reskin. Now, a lot of people are getting things twisted, and I'll explain that in just a second. People think that just because that Vanguard is working off of the Modern Warfare 2019 engine means that everything from Modern Warfare 2019 will be in Vanguard. Not necessarily the case. What the engine does is the engine handles graphic fidelity, things like audio and that sort of stuff. So the way that Modern Warfare 2019 looks, sounds, moves, feels, that will be very much engine based. All the other things will be design based and based off of what the studio wants to do with the game. Now, the biggest thing personally that I think is coming out of this is mantling and doors and destruction. So we'll talk about those two things. Let's first talk about mantling. Not only mantling horizontally, but mantling vertically as well. It seems like mantling and leaning and all that sort of crap is going to be more prevalent here in Vanguard, and your ability to do so will be expanded upon compared to Modern Warfare 2019. That whole sort of leaning stuff wasn't introduced in Modern Warfare 2019. Of course, it was introduced in Call of Duty Ghost, I believe, was the first Call of Duty to have the leaning mechanic, but it was a lot more sort of emphasized, and your idea of doing it and how the game wanted you to play lent more to using that mechanic in Modern Warfare 2019, and seemingly it's going to be the same thing here in Vanguard, especially from the Champion Hill alpha trailer that we saw. We saw multiple instances of characters leaning and mantling and that sort of stuff, and mounting and whatever. So that's going to be in the game. And again, it does sort of help that the Modern Warfare 2019 engine sort of is used to, or has been used to do that sort of mechanic before, therefore making it easier to implement. It'd be a little bit harder to implement it within Treyarch's engine, for example, because it's not been done before, or at least to my knowledge it hasn't been done before, but obviously Modern Warfare 2019's engine has. So that's leaning and all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be coming into the game. Personally, I don't have any sort of fondness for leaning or mantling and that sort of stuff. I don't think it should be in the game. I think as a mechanic, it makes people want to camp more, because leaning helps recoil, and if someone can just sit in a corner and lean and mantle and all that sort of stuff, it just sort of plays more to the campy playstyle that Modern Warfare 2019 promoted, and for me, it's just not a thing that I necessarily want in my game. Let's talk about doors. Doors are coming back in Call of Duty Vanguard, and of course, notoriously filled and littered across of Modern Warfare 2019's maps as well. Doors can be destroyed from what we've heard, so people can't camp behind doors and that sort of stuff, because you can like shoot through doors and blow up doors and that sort of stuff. But doors are coming back. They're going to be a feature in multiplayer. They're going to be apparently very easily seen. Like, you can definitely see the doors and how to explode the doors and all that sort of stuff. So again, we're just going to sort of have to wait and see until the Champion Hill alpha launches to see the doors there. Again, it was shown in that gameplay trailer that they showed for Champion Hill that you can shoot through the doors and create sight lines and that sort of stuff. So again, doors is not my cup of tea. I don't have any sort of fondness for doors. I think doors were too stupid in Modern Warfare 2019. It sort of, again, promoted more campy, slow playstyles. Doors were just not it for me, and I don't think it has place in Call of Duty, but it's going to be here in Vanguard. And yet again, another comparison of Modern Warfare 2019 to Vanguard. And then the third thing that I mentioned is the destruction. Obviously very different to Modern Warfare 2019. So Modern Warfare 2019 didn't have any of that sort of destruction and that sort of stuff, but what that does lead to is different map designs and different lines of sight, which Modern Warfare 2019 had. Modern Warfare 2019 did a lot of things. It did move away from the traditional 3-lane map system in a lot of ways, mainly because of doors. Your doors sort of, and safe spaces, open and close different types of gameplay and different types of gameplay styles. And so does destruction. Destruction does stop people from camping. In a way, and I will say that in a way. Destruction can sort of create new sightlines, which helps campers in some ways, but it also doesn't help them in some ways as well, because if you're camping in a corner, someone can just blow up the door or shoot through the wall behind you or next to you and sort of open that line of sight so that you can't go back there because you'll be seen if you go back to that camping spot. What it does do is, what if, and we know that all of the things in the map aren't destructible. It's not like Battlefield where everything's destructible. Only certain points can be destroyed. So realistically, that doesn't stop anyone from just camping in the points that can't be destroyed. They're saying that although the destruction is in the game, it stops people from camping. Destruction stops people from camping in Vanguard. It doesn't, because if you're gonna have only some parts of the map destructible and some parts not, then people will just camp in the parts that aren't. Another thing that we need to draw comparison to, field upgrades. There's a big debate over field upgrades and whether or not dead silence should be a perk or a field upgrade. And if you ask me, it shouldn't even be a question as to dead silence needs to be a perk, because dead silence stops people from camping. If you look at Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2019 is one of the hardest games to play if you don't have a playstyle that is slow, campy, boring, soy boy cuck. It really is, because the footsteps are so loud. Throughout the whole of Modern Warfare 2019's dev cycle, we asked for the footsteps to either be lowered or for dead silence to become a perk. Neither of those two things happened. Your footsteps in Warzone and in Modern Warfare 2019 are so loud, and that promotes more campy gameplay. Therefore, if the rumors are to be true, this game is gonna again be a Modern Warfare 2019 clone where dead silence is a field upgrade, your footsteps are loud as hell, and again promoting campy gameplay. And then that leads me to my last point. Everything that has been said about this game leads to campy gameplay. Doors, safe spaces assumingly coming back, dead silence as a field upgrade. Everything that I've said in this video promotes campy gameplay, just like Modern Warfare 2019. And that is a philosophy that needs to be thrown out of the window and never to be seen again. We cannot have another Call of Duty where the developers are blatantly coming out and saying that they designed this game so that bad players can have fun, so that bad players can do whatever they want, so to promote camping. We can't have that. Call of Duty should never ever come out with a product that promotes camping gameplay, that punishes people for moving around the map, and that their whole game design is based off of how can we make bad people want to play our game. And let's sort of rationale this a little bit. On one hand, it makes sense, because on one hand, the bad people are probably a large majority of the people that play the game, and we can't escape the fact that bad people play this game and enjoy this game and buy the skin bundles and all that sort of stuff. So if you see, realistically, right, if you see anyone online defending Modern Warfare 2019 or defending Black Ops Cold War that say they put hours and hours into the game, they're probably a bad player, and they just don't know that they're a bad player because the skill-based matchmaking algorithm doesn't show them that there's better people out there. They think they're amazing because they're essentially. So again, more comparisons to Modern Warfare 2019, where Vanguard as a whole is, yes, based off of Modern Warfare 2019's engine, but it's the design philosophy, the gameplay philosophies that they're taking from Infinity Tard, bringing it over into this game. And that's worrying. It really is worrying. If you're gonna have dead silence as a field upgrade and you're not gonna have quieter footsteps, then realistically, what's the point of playing this game? If you're gonna take all of these elements from Modern Warfare 2019 and put a World War II skin on it, what's the point of playing this game? We should have just gotten year 3 of Modern Warfare 2019 or year 2 of Black Ops Cold War, because if you're gonna come at us with a product that's exactly the same as something we got 2 years ago and something that's gonna be the same as what we get next year with Modern Warfare 2 in 2022, then what's the point of Vanguard? Realistically, right, what's the point of Vanguard? because we know the operator system is going to be the same that we've had the past 2 years. We know the store is going to be the same. We know the bundles are going to be the same. We know the variants are going to be the same. We know that it's going to be integrated with Warzone. We know the gunsmith system's different. We obviously know that it's a World War II setting, and the maps and the different locales are going to be different because we're fighting on different fronts, which is cool. But I'm talking about gameplay here. And if they're doing the same thing, right, and they're doing, let's say for example, they do the traditional 3-lane map, and they up at launch you have 16 traditional 3-lane maps that then get opened up with different lines of sight and all this sort of stuff, then while yes, that could be cool, but then think about it, they had safe spaces. If safe spaces are in this game, then you already know that they're sort of just looking at what Infinity Ward did and like, ooh, let's just do that, and then just put it in World War II. Call of Duty Vanguard right now, as it's shaping up, is Modern Warfare 2 2.5. It's exactly the same game. And no, that's not because of the engine, it's because of the gameplay and design philosophies that Sledgehammer is implementing within this game, being exactly the same as the ones that Infinity Ward did for Modern Warfare 2019. So it's sort of hard to be cautiously optimistic about this game. Yes, we haven't played the game yet. We haven't played the alpha, we haven't played the beta, but from all of the leaks and the details that are coming out about this game, it's really hard to keep this cautious optimism for the game. We know that skill-based matchmaking is going to be the same. We know that there's going to be doors. We know that there's going to be mantling. We know that all the slide, cancel, YY, jumpy bullcrap is going to be back, phase, skin, CDL, whatever. So it's, again, really hard to be cautiously optimistic. I'm going to reserve a lot of my judgment until I can get my hands on the game, both the alpha, beta, and full release as well. I'm going to sort of play the game so that you guys don't have to, if that makes sense. And I think that's what a lot of other content creators are doing as well. Getting into the game, playing the game to then, if it's garbage, warn people not to buy it. And I think this year more than ever, a lot of people are just straight up choosing not to buy Vanguard because of all the details that are coming out. I have friends that don't even want to play Vanguard, that play, by the way, play Warzone every day. I have friends that play Warzone every single day that don't want to buy Vanguard and instead want to buy Battlefield 2042. Because when they look at Vanguard, they not only just see Modern Warfare 2.5, but they just see another World War II game. And then I remember when I was playing the event with one of my mates, he says, "This looks like Battlefield." How do you and he knows it's Call of Duty, but he's saying it looks like Battlefield. So then that's another argument, right? Why would you pay money for Call of Duty Vanguard when Battlefield 2042 is seemingly giving us a better quality product? So again, Vanguard, if Sledgehammer is listening to this, or if anyone in Activision is listening to this, you can have all those design philosophies and whatnot, but you can't alienate a set player base. And that's what Modern Warfare 2019 did wrong, that's what Cold War is doing wrong, and that is what seemingly Vanguard's going to do wrong as well. Alienating a player base to play a style of play that only soy boy cucks want to do. You can't cater your whole game to noobs and campers. You can't make people camp. Why would you want to make people camp in a traditionally arcade fast-paced shooter? It just doesn't make sense. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you can leave a like, comment down below. What do you think of Vanguard being just a Modern Warfare 2019 reskin? I would love to hear all your thoughts and opinions down below. And click subscribe if you're new here, because obviously in the coming days we'll have the Champion Hill Alpha. So again, either if you're on PlayStation, download it, preload it, and then get some solid opinions on the game. If you're not on those consoles, your PlayStation 5s and PS4s or whatever, check this space, August 27. I'll be posting my first gameplay impressions. Let me tell you whether or not you should get the game before you get the game. Do not waste your money on a pre-order before you see other people tell you whether or not you should get the game. And while yes, you should form your own opinions and that sort of stuff and listen to what everyone says, but if people are telling you this game is garbage, don't waste your money on it. Let other people waste your money so that you don't have to. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
Girl, I thought you was the realest thing. Stick together, get a real estate, but you fucked around, started playing games. Different lives, but it felt the same. You the reason why I ride this way. Got a rhyme and got a band now. So recently in these past days, I've settled down. Took a while, but I'm settled now. Be around, you know I can't allow. Think of you when you're not around. Now I'm thinking about the checks now. You the reason why